Let's bring the November 3rd, 2022 meeting to order. Salute to the flag. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Secretary, roll call.
Mr. Cullen,
Mr. Collins excused.
Ms. Karen,
Here.
Mr. D'Angelo,
Here.
Mr. Poliapico,
Here.
Mr. Parolo,
Here.
Mr. Smith,
Here.
Mr. Stiltner,
Here.
Ms. Paglione,
Ms. Paglione is excused.
and Mr. Chicoletti.
Here. Solicitor, executive
Yes,
session?
yes, thank you, Mr. President. Briefly, an executive session started at 6:30 tonight. Board members who are present at this meeting were present at the executive session along with Mr. McHugh, Dr. Davis, and myself. Several items related to personal items and informational items were discussed at the executive session, which concluded just before this meeting started. And that's my report.
Thank you, Mr. Trullo.
You're welcome.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the agenda with said addendums?
I move.
Mr. D'Angelo, do I have a second?
I second.
Mr. Smith? Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries. Reports and presentations. Superintendent, Dr. Davis. Before we go on to Dr. Davis, I have a brief announcement. Dr. Davis has informed the Bristol Borough School District that he would be interested in being our superintendent. So at this time, the Bristol Borough School District will not go forward with a superintendent search and therefore begin to contract negotiations with Dr. Davis. Dr. Davis is a Bristolian. He taught in our district. He was the superintendent. He retired from the Bristol Borough School District, but has now shown an interest to come back. Dr. Davis will be making a sacrifice, foregoing his pension and just collecting the salary from the Bristol Borough School District. So once the contract is in place, signed, and approved by the board, I will let everyone know. I will make that announcement at the school board meeting. We'll try to get that accomplished as soon as possible, and I will be giving updates as we proceed. Dr. Davis?
Yes. In your packet tonight, I'm asking the board to approve the special education comprehensive plan as required by PBE, which will be for 3 years. The building administrators continue to meet with Chief Moore and his staff to review and update our safety and security protocols. In regards to substitute, you know that's a big issue with all 500 school districts in Pennsylvania as well as in other states such as New Jersey and Delaware. In this book, this PSBA, in terms of all you should be looking into, is an excellent article on page 31 that deals with substitutes, but what they are making. That's something that I plan to bring to the board after meeting with the administration to talk about how we can maybe maintain some substitutes such as permanent subs, more than 1 or 2, so our building, when our staff is out, sometime during the middle of the day, someone gets sick, they go home. You know, we instead of canceling classes, we have somebody available that can then, you know, fill in that role. So those kids don't miss out on whether it's been an elective or a core subject. Okay, that's the end of my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Mr. Rosado?
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. I have a little bit of a lengthy report, but I'll try to be brief because I know there's a couple important sporting events occurring tonight. So I wanted to announce, based on the recommendations and nomination by Mr. Tyrell, our 6th grade ELA teacher, the following students are a part of our Snyder-Girardi Student Advisory Council: Juliana Perozzi, Adrian Nelson, and Kervinley Beauplan. So congratulations to them for that nomination, and they all accepted the nomination. Within the last month or so, we received our annual school summary report from the PA Department of Education, which is based on the 2022 PSSA that was administered to our 3rd through 6th graders. I'm happy to report that we exceeded the state percentage of proficient and advanced students in both mathematics and science. We increased the number of students who scored proficient and advanced in ELA by 5% from 2021 to 2022. We increased the number of students who score proficient and advanced in math by 12.2% between those 2 years also, and we increased the number of students who score proficient and advanced in science by 3.7% from 2021 to 2022. Additionally, 66.2% of our 4th graders scored proficient and advanced in science. Our 6th grade students scored 62.7% proficient and advanced on the ELA assessment last year. And that's a great number, and it's a great number. Number one, it was tops in our scores in ELA and math, but given that we have a higher population in children with special needs, that you're really looking at about 3% of the kids who did not score proficient advanced would be kids who do not have a special need that's identified by an IEP. So, kudos to our 6th grade staff who had worked really hard, and, based on our data that we collect on a regular basis, I'm going to guess we're going to keep trending in that right direction and growing our students. So I'm super, super proud of our staff, our students, as they continue to grow and work hard. And of course, I appreciate the support of Dr. Davis, the school board, and our staff as we continue to grow and see these positive changes in our achievement and accomplishments. And aside just from math, ELA, and science data, I've spoken numerous times about all the programs that we're offering to our elementary children here. We've increased our instrumental program exponentially. I don't even know to what degree at this point, because it continues to grow. We have our Outrageous program that we're growing each year. We offer math, we have art, we have STEM, which is one of the most amazing elementary STEM programs that I've seen in the county. And if ever you're not busy, stop by. You see all the excellent things that Mr. Crossan is doing, and he just keeps on spending. But he was awarded that $20,000 grant by Dale and Solvay, so keep spending. So we're proud of everything that's going on here. I would like to thank the PA school retirees for their generous donation to our Snyder Girardi Food Pantry. They just sent that in the mail, and we were happy to receive that. Yesterday, we engaged in collaborative conversations as grade level teams to further our knowledge on the next step forward in guided reading, and that's our focus, professional development focus this year. You see, I added a little graphic there that sometimes the greatest PD is in the teacher down the hall. And that's been something that I've been trying to stress, and to have us open our doors and learn from one another and share our expertise that we have here in the building. Right. On Tuesday, November 8th, as you know, it is Election Day. We will have a full day of in-service, which again will be tied back to guided reading and small group instruction. Scholastic Literacy Rep will be here to work with our teachers, focusing on guided reading planning, implementation, assessment, and again, an effort to continue to grow and raise student achievement. Our annual Halloween parade went off without a hitch. It was a huge success. Thank you to the staff and families for dressing up and having lots of fun. I included some pictures. As you can see, Dr. Davis dressed up. He had a nice mask on there. And you get, the grade levels usually do some sort of theme. So it's the most popular event here, and I'm glad that we continue to have that tradition. It brings out all of our families, and the kids and parents love it, grandparents, neighborhood. Our 6th graders actually had a Halloween dance here in the LGI, and so they got to run around for a while and like that. Thank you to our PTA. I see a couple of our PTA members here this evening for a successful first trunk or treat, which happened on last Friday night here in the back of the school. What were there, about 35 to 40 trunks that were decorated. We had probably 200 to 300 kids come through in their costumes. The fire department came, with their truck. The police department was here. The playground was lit up. Kids ran around, got their candy. There were some, what was it, caramel apple station, and just a really nice night. I think a donation of pizzas, Ms. Jimenez, from Caesars. Yep. So thank you for that. A great night. And then the PAC, which is the Parent Advisory Council, hosted Barnes & Noble Night. We hadn't been there since the COVID, and it was our biggest ever in terms of attendance. Beautiful night where we shared our love of books and reading with one another. We had over 200 student attendees. So when you add in their families and siblings, we totally took over the place. It was a great night. I know Mr. McHugh was there, Dr. Davis made it. It was a lot of fun. Thank you to the staff who supported this event, came and read. I think there were about 25 staff members who were there that evening. Thank you to Amy Klingelhofer, who helped plan and volunteer that evening. And as a result, we'll earn over $700 and a gift card to shop for more books for our students at Barnes & Noble. At Back to School Night, the Grundy Library has always been here as a partner and has supported Snyder Girardi. And just because they're going through renovations doesn't mean that they didn't show up. So they handed out applications. I believe we had about 50 applications for library cards that came back. So instead of losing the excitement and kids not being able to get to the library to check out books because they're only open on Saturday, we were able to do a pop-up event right here in the library. So the librarians brought a bunch of different books for the kids. They brought their computer, set up some tables. They had their scanner, and the kids received their library cards, and then were able to check out a book. And so that was a really fun time for the kids to keep that. Again, trying to share a love for reading, to get our kids to love reading as much as we do. And as far as federal programs, we had a parent meeting on October 20th. There I shared the equity plan, which we review and revise every year, the Parent Family Student Compact. The current PSSA data was shared with those in attendance. And it was a virtual and live meeting, and I think that we will continue doing that as many parents were at home, and it allowed them to join. So, and we made it work. They were able to comment, to engage, and it was a great meeting. Title I, we always discuss goals and interventions. We share our professional development focus, which is small group instruction and guided reading. And the Title I comparability report was completed and submitted. That report basically, we're what's the word? Exempt, because we only have one building. So we don't have to compare it to make sure there's equitable use of funds between buildings, so we're exempt, but that was done. Title II, as we know, we use to reduce class size in grade 1, and we are still completing the Title IV needs assessment. And that's my report for this evening.
Thank you, Ms. Rosado. One question, the scores,
Yes.
that was coming out of the COVID.
2021 was the year we were back with masks, and there were kids still virtual, but they did, even kids who learned virtually. Remember, we had the virtual and in-person instruction that year, right? So that was 2021. And the state, when they send out the reports, they give us that information too, just to, you know, to see kind of what that was like compared to this year, which was
So-
2022.
So that's pretty good coming out of the COVID. They taking the test coming out of the virtual for the year or so.
I think it's very positive for the simple fact that doing instruction is for teachers to teach both kids in front of them, kids at home, connectivity issues, daycare issues, all those different challenges that we experienced during the 2020-21 school year, and to see just now coming another year later that we're doing the right things and we're rebounding. Okay, we are rebounding and we're trending in the right direction.
Yeah.
And I like to compare it to the state because that kind of gives us a barometer, obviously, against everybody in Pennsylvania who took the assessment. So, you know, look, we have room to grow and we will continue to grow. But that's the important part, is that we see growth, because you can't go change student achievement from 40% to 70%, then you'd be getting investigated, right? Because you just don't see those levels of
So gradually going up and coming out of the COVID, still continuing to grow.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
And-
Good report.
and-
Nice report.
That's a big accomplishment.
It really, I attribute it
Yes.
to the number one, the resiliency of our children, the support that I've had from the board and our superintendent, Chris, and allowing us to put certain programs into place. We know we wanted to do an SEL program. We have that in place this year. And then, of course, resiliency and just the desire of our staff and teachers to want to see our children succeed and go above, because I do ask for a lot. And they're
that's
right
fine.
there
You
for the
showed it.
challenge. So I'm
this
proud
is-
of them.
This is the final result. Yeah, we are too. Good job.
Thank you.
Mr. Nastasi.
Yes.
Show your pictures.
The high school and middle school are also, want to congratulate students from our Student Advisory Council. We had a ton of recommendations from teachers. So here's our list. 12th grade, where we want to congratulate Christina Rodriguez. 11th grade representatives will be Kendall Cottrell, Colin Burnett. 10th grade representatives will be Serenity Atkinson and Madison
Zanoski.
Zamenowski, thank you. 9th grade, Jacob Perez and Hunter Newcomb. 8th grade, Angelina Saxon and Dominic Nastasi. And 7th grade, Carly Oxford. So we will be, official letters will be going out, and we will be meeting with Dr. Davis, myself, and Mr. Popovsky about school improvement and then how we can just get better overall within our building. On October 28th, we held fire drill. Took our students 3 minutes and 45 seconds. And the data that I collected from our current fire academy class is any time under 5 minutes is a really good time to have a building cleared. After our fire drill, we had students walk around the building, give great feedback with the teacher and Mr. McGinn from Bucks County Community College and the fire squad, and we are making adjustments to even get better in the future. Next, we held a school lockdown practice on 10/27. We had a power outage in school for 45 minutes, and we used that time to practice a lockdown drill for safety precautions. We had a college financial night for parents presented by Bucks County Community College President, Bristol Campus President Jim Sell. Once again this year, we had more parents than the year before. Mr. Sell presented everything Bucks has, the college application process, and everything financial. Next, our teachers participated in a professional development session about understanding trauma in our classroom, and that was presented by Ana Rosado, our school social worker. Ana did a fabulous job presenting to our teachers. She's very thorough, and the teachers were very appreciative of her knowledge and her organization. Our high school students participated in the blood drive held by the American Cross. We had 40 pints of blood, which was a little more than last year, so I'm proud of our students for that, and Mrs. LaFreda for organizing that event. Also last week, Bucks County Community College presented a senior FAFSA night for all Bristol High School's senior parents. So FAFSA is the financial aid that all the parents need to fill out. It's a very complex system. Bucks Community College sent over a representative to our school. Parents attended, and they actually completed their FAFSA accounts that night. And with information leading into if they ever need help in the future. So we have that information for parents also as another resource. Wednesday, we had our college career day. There was 23 different representatives from various universities, colleges, and technical institutes. All of our seniors and juniors were participated. We got numerous thank yous and compliments from the university representatives about how polite our students were. Most of the students did have some kind of task from a teacher to collect some data about the universities that they are interested in, and then they had to present to their class. On Friday, tomorrow, we will host a District 1 football finals at 7 o'clock. 8-1 Bristol will play New Hope for the District 1 title. It's actually the first round of the PIAA, and the winner will advance to the second round of the state playoffs. November 10th, a couple dates here. November 10th is the end of the first marking period. That'll be a half a day for students. November 8th, Election Day, and then November 11th, Veterans Day, we will have no school. And November 21st, parent conferences. That'll be half day for all students. We will be going all virtual conferences going from here on out. A letter and information will be going out tomorrow to all the parents. We will post it on our Facebook page. We will have it posted on our website, and it will be in all the Google Classrooms for all the students. And we will also have a robocall with information. If there are parents that want to meet live, they will contact a teacher, and we can also set that up. During our times with COVID, the number of parents that participated compared to the number of live parents that we had last year, it wasn't even close. We had about 180 parents participate virtual. Last year, we had 21 parents show up live. So this is the trend we're going with. Will we make exceptions? Absolutely. A teacher will be contacting you if your son or daughter needs a conference, and then you can also contact us if you want a conference. Next, without saying, I want to give special thanks to our guidance department. The College Career Day was an unbelievable event. I also want to thank Mr. Gatto and his crew for setting everything up. We had the entire gym filled. There was plenty of room. A lot of the universities said it was so well organized. But I want to thank our guidance counselor, our guidance counselor, Debbie Kennard, Maria Ciccoletti, and Sandy Spencer. Without their work and effort, we could never pull this off. A lot of the feedback we got from students, they thanked us. Again, we had 23 different universities, and we also had Penco Tech was here. We had a Beauty Academy school lined up. It didn't show up, so I wasn't too happy about that. But for all the students who were there for the Beauty Academy, we're going to reach out to another one, and we're going to have one special for them to sign up and come talk with that organization. One last thing I want to add, on our in-service day, talking about school safety with Dr. Davis and the school board and Chief Morris, we are going to, everybody in our building, including cafeteria, aides, every adult in our school on Election Day, we will be practicing a relocation drill. Our relocation site is Calgary. I'm sorry.
No.
No?
Stop that. We don't
Okay.
divulge.
Okay.
Just, we're doing the drill.
We will be
Thank
practicing.
you.
We will be practicing on November 8th, our relocation together as a group, going through all the logistics. Mr. Gatto and I went to the site, and we talked to the site coordinator, and we're all ready to go. Dr. Davis is aware, and the police chief is also aware. And that's it.
Thank you, Mr. DeStessa. I
You're
didn't
welcome.
mean to cut
No,
you
no, no,
off,
that's
but
okay.
we just give a brief,
I understand.
okay?
Thank you. It's okay.
Thank you. Good job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so reports, comprehensive plan, special education plan, ESSERS, Title I, Title II, Title IV. Who gives that report?
No, but remember I told you, Dr. Schaefer, when he had these, they stay on the agenda.
They stay on the agenda?
Yes.
Okay.
I've reported on 1, 2, and 4.
You, okay.
Yes.
All right,
He
so
said
they have to be,
stay
they have
because
to
of the
stay
grant.
on?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Public participation, anyone from the public? Yeah, I'll get yours.
Good evening. Thank you for some moments of your time. So I want to talk to you, gentlemen and ladies, about an opportunity to bring a Cub Scouting program into Bristol Borough. Actually presented to the PTA a couple weeks ago about starting up a program here at Snyder Girardi. The board unanimously voted yes, they would like us to come in here, so wanted to present what Cub Scouts is all about. So the mission of Scouts is to prepare young people to make ethical and moral choices through their lifetime by instilling in them the values of the Scout Oath and Law. And to do that, there is a purpose, is really through the cooperation with other agencies like the PTA to give youth the ability to do things for themselves, to help others, to give them a sense of purpose, patriotism, courage, self-reliance, kindred values. Really want to focus on citizenship there too, right? I think we can bring together a good partnership with Cub Scouts here to help the PTA out. I have some examples with a previous unit I was with. We were with the PTO of Brookwood Elementary, and several of us Cub Scout leaders were able to help out and participate with like serving ice cream at the ice cream social, having other vehicles here to help participate for like a trunk or treat and things like that. So we bring resources into the community too to help, as well as have a program for the kids. A little bit about myself. I'm kind of here to representing to be a Cub Master, kind of the unit leader for Cub Scouts. I myself am an Eagle Scout, so I worked through the program as a youth, and I'm now on my 3rd year as a Cub Scout leader, working with kids. And I really do this as a passion to do fun, exciting things with my son, right, to teach him the values and things that I learned as a kid. I really love the outdoors, learning new things, and I've really found a passion of teaching all these skills and values to the kids, right? Learning about nature, science, teamwork, community, and just all around being a good person. I really love seeing the kids' faces, right? That's why I do it, is to see the kids, get those memories, build those bonds with them, and get them to, stand up there and be proud of their awards. You can see, one of my scouts here, he's got a couple of his badges on now. Just seeing the courage and excitement there. So thanks for a moment of time. Just wanted to pitch with scouts and using the facility here possibly.
Introduce who is with you.
Yes, so I have Jackson is one of our Wolf Scouts here. He would like to say a little piece, and then Sandy is one of my fellow leaders that's also here to help with running the program. So you guys want to come up and say something?
Go ahead, my man, you got it.
So unlike Will, I am not into the outdoors. I'm afraid of spiders, but Scouts has, broadened my horizon. So good evening, members of the board, superintendent, and audience members. My name is Sandy Jimenez. I'm the mother of my 2nd grade son, Jackson. I'm the secretary of the Snyder Girardi PTA, and I'm here tonight as the Wolf Den leader of Cub Scout Pack 1681. My colleague here, he chose that number because he loved the fact that Bristol was founded in 1681. He and I are here to ask to use Snyder Girardi Elementary School as our meeting place. We already presented to the parent meeting at the end of October and asked the PTA to be our charter organization. In the past year and a half that Jackson and I have been with Scouts, we have done amazing things that we wouldn't have otherwise done on our own. We have gone outdoor camping at Camp Akanikin several times. We have attended campfires with Boy Scouts. We have gone fishing several times. We have learned about and helped retire American flags. We have visited a planetarium, the New Jersey State Museum, the Mercer Museum in Doylestown, made holiday cards for nursing home residents. We toured and got to camp on the Battleship New Jersey, which was awesome. And lastly, attended a Trenton Thunder game and then camped on the field afterwards. These are just a few of the things that we have done in the past year and a half. Not to mention all these badges we have worked on and earned. If you can see Jackson's belt, he earned every single badge that you can earn as a Lion Cub, which is kindergarten, and as a Tiger Cub as a 1st grader. So that's kind of an amazing feat, because you normally just have to earn 7 to get your Tiger badge. I list everything out here so you can see the types of programs we are planning to bring to the children of Bristol Borough. Cub Scouts is also a program that builds character as we practice and live the Cub Scout law and oath, which we'll discuss. We have both boys and girls involved in our program from grades kindergarten through 5th grade. And lastly, speaking as both a parent and as a den leader, this program has built Scouts into leaders who are confident, helpful, and building lifelong friendships. I've seen kids who came in just scared of their own shadow that now are extremely confident. They're looking to help other people. They're holding doors for people, just building excellent character in these children. And just thank you in advance for your consideration.
Question.
Yes.
So you're asking to use the facility here, Snyder Girardi?
Yes.
Okay, so that, those meetings will be once a week, once a month?
Once a week,
Okay.
Tuesday nights
Okay.
is what our preference is.
And
Where's
we-
your current location?
So, I'm sorry, I want to answer the person. Oh, so we were originally with a pack that was out of Brookwood Elementary. And I'll be honest, some of those people were not living the Cub Scout law and oath. So we are breaking off on our own. We are creating our own pack.
How many children, kids do you have, do you expect?
Right now, I can say the ones that have signed up with me, we have about 10
Okay.
with room to expand.
In total, we're up to about 16 that were also part of this other unit that are looking to branch off
So-
and work on our own.
You would be looking for a room, a classroom, or something that can hold?
Yeah, just to update the board, they had submitted a building and usage request to me today. I forwarded on to Mr. Gatto and Mrs. Rosato about availability for those things, because we have other things possibly going on, and I'm going to wait for Mrs. Rosato to comment on that, just to see what the availability is, but I'm sure we're willing to work with you, you know, to get you what you need.
Okay, that sounds good. So all the paperwork is done on, so when you submit your building and usage form to Mr. McHugh, he updated that, so we're good. So then anything after that, you'll deal with Mr. Gatto with your nights so that he can make sure that the area that you're going to be in is secure, cleaned, and then, you know, cleaned again after you leave. So just let him know if you need the gymnasium, you need a classroom, you know, whatever you're going to need. So he'll provide his phone number to you.
Okay, terrific.
And then you could come back in a few months after the holidays and give us a report. How's that sound?
Terrific.
Is that good?
Absolutely.
Okay, so anything else we could do, but I think that Mr. Gatto's in charge of facilities, and that's what you're looking to do. And Mr. McHugh will handle all of the paperwork, so looks like everything's in order.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
Can you have your son say something?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Breakfast with Santa, hosted by Cub Scouts of Bristol. Saturday, 3rd, from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m.
He's reading our flyer. We have a pancake breakfast with Santa fundraiser planned. Unfortunately, it's the same day as a pancake breakfast that's also here. We didn't know. Obviously, we started planning this a while ago. Just speak from the heart and tell him what Scouts means to you.
No.
And as much character as
enjoy
we build, he
breakfast
still
with
doesn't
Santa.
listen.
Enjoy breakfast with Santa. Pictures welcome. Please bring your own camera. Mini games, bake sale, gift card sale. Also accepting donations for toys and tops. And
Good job.
Good job.
my favorite thing about Scouts is BB shooting.
Okay.
Which we go off-site for. We go to operate.
Thanks, Jackson.
Anyone else from the public? If not, we'll close public participation, and Mr. Gatto has a report.
Okay. This is what happens when you retire, I guess. I prepared a bullet list.
We all have.
Does everyone have one?
Yes.
And I listed some of the things that, at least since I've been back on the 15th, we've accomplished. Some of these projects here are ongoing. Some of these are things that I have accomplished, and Some of these, the whole department has accomplished. Okay, so I'm just going to read them to you very quickly. And before I go on to number one, I have to thank Mr. Stiltner for this, because when we went to get the brand-new scoreboard put up, we got prices that cost more than the scoreboard, okay, itself, just to hang it. Mr. Stiltner, I don't know how he found these people. They were right in our backyard. But they came along and cut the price by 2/3 in order to get the scoreboard hung. These are people that's what they do for a living. They hang signs. I know our guys could have hung it, but guess what? Now we're talking liability issues and things like that. I thought it would be better if they hung the scoreboard. Our crew, our maintenance guys, took the existing scoreboard down, removed it, got rid of it. We're not hoarding anymore. That's gone. They took 6 coats of paint off of the existing I-beams, which is what the scoreboard is hung on. Took it down to the bare metal, painted it, got it ready for them to install the scoreboard. They had the scoreboard installed in a matter of 1 day. It was up and running in 1 day. So thank you very much, Mr. Stiltner, for the lead. I appreciate that. Some of the other things we've accomplished, we removed and installed new huddle cameras on the press box. Those huddle cameras enable us, the athletic director, to tape the games. Hopefully we can expand this, if possible, to the area where the field hockey is, so we can also stream those games. We installed and wired 2-3 light poles near the track area. If you drive by there at night, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's well lit. We have 1 more to light. Okay, we have to do a little more extensive work, a little more digging, but I anticipate those being up by the end of next week, the last pole. We prepared a new flagpole for the scoreboard. I have prepared a master vendor list for communication purposes, so we don't have to go looking for phone numbers, etc., to speed up the process. I've met with personnel from each department and discussed protocol. I am preparing, and this is an ongoing document, preparing daily, weekly, and monthly preventative maintenance tasks for our maintenance team. I am also in the process, and this is going to be changing, preparing a master maintenance facilities manual describing electrical, HVAC, mechanical, and security systems. I've been holding monthly meetings with departments discussing issues and goals. This next one, I'm going to ask you for a change in my title because I've spent so much time with Dr. Davis. On a daily basis, I want to be called the assistant superintendent. I've had daily meetings with the general contractor and window installers discussing the progress and concerns with our window project. I meet with them every morning, see what their concerns are, our concerns, make sure it stays on path. New card readers have been installed at the high school front and rear entrances. A new convection oven ordered for the high school cafeteria. We got to the point where the old stove convection oven became cost prohibitive to fix again. We put so much money into it, it wouldn't serve any purpose to sink some more money into it. I've been facilitating discussions with Site Logic engineers, Building and Grounds Committee, to secure a contract for the generator connection. Along with some of the other projects, I've been working with Site Logic. Where's my list? Okay, heck with the list. We're also working on, like I said, the generator. We're working, we all know we need a new track. What else did we discuss, Mr. Ciccoletti, at our meeting today?
Boiler,
The boiler project,
air conditioning.
air conditioning, thank you. And Senior moment, thank you. These are projects that have to be started now, at least discussion-wise, especially with the air conditioners. The lead times on some of the products are through the roof. So we have to make sure that those are done. We want some of those to be done, obviously, by September. So we're in the process, like the generator. We have to take certain steps in order to get that project done. Some of the parts that we need, the transfer switch, we're talking possibly in the excess of 6 months in order to secure that item. But before we go there, we have to make sure that that generator is going to work. So we must contract someone to come in and test the generator, make sure it works, basically, before we start sinking money into it. One of the questions I asked at the meeting today that we had with the Building and Grounds Committee, Mr. Nastasi, Mr. Perolo, Dr. Davis, was, my question was, what would it cost to buy a new one? Instead of sinking the money into this, making the adaptations that have to be done, what would it cost for a new generator in order to run the whole building? And I believe the answer was in the vicinity of $500,000 to $600,000. So the donation that we received is well worth putting some money into to get it up and running. And I can't stress enough how important it is that we get to that point where it's up and running. So we're pushing for that. I will be leading that charge. I will be in daily, weekly meetings with SiteLogic to make sure that project is up to speed and running.
Mr. Gatto, just to touch on the generator was donated to the school district by Dow Chemical? Dow, sorry. Dow, not Dow. Dow Chemical, thank you, Mr. D'Angelo. We were not actually looking for a generator, although we realized the high school does not have a backup generator like the elementary school here. And we were approached by the management director, Mr. Merle Winslow, if we were interested in it, and Dow gave us a grant to help us move the generator here. So the generator is here. Okay, the generator was in working order. What we're realizing is that the generator is actually too big, so they have to make some adaptations to, put it in place, do whatever we have to do. So it wasn't a project that we were going to take on, okay? We were just, okay, we'll accept the generator. But now we realize that there's a cost to installing this generator. And we asked a question today. One question was, what would it cost us to just bring, listen, forget this and we'll do something else, $500,000-600,000. I also asked the question, and Mr. Gatto asked the same thing, how much is this generator worth? $500,000. So we will approach the county and local officials to see if funding is available, because the reason for the generator at the high school would be in case of an emergency, Bristol Borough were to lose power like we did with Sandy for 4 or 5 days, there would be a place that people can go to, a shelter. So that's the long and the short of the story. So yes, it's taking time, okay, because we're trying to adapt this to our building.
Because, Mr. Ciccoletti, every time we lose power, we end up throwing away freezers full of food.
Yeah. Yeah.
Freezers full.
Yeah. Okay, okay, thank you, Mr. Gatto. And now that you'll be working with SiteLogic, who are engineers, energy efficient engineers, and so they'll be handling and drawing up these projects for us. And then we'll be taking steps. The board will be informed with Mr. Gatto. So basically today is what SiteLogic told us, is that the Bristol Borough School District is actually saving money, because with these projects, they will not have to put a so-called project engineer here any short of time, or for weeks or months, whatever, because Mr. Gatto, will be doing that, and we're fortunate to have him back running, the facilities and the maintenance department, cafeteria, and bus drivers. That's all under his realm, and preparing manuals for maintenance, that was also discussed. So he has a lot to do in the next 6 months. He's also in charge of security, and there'll be no updates on security. It's an ongoing thing. We don't say what we're doing, but I can assure you that the school is safe. Any questions for Mr. Gatto? Thank you, Mr. Gatto, for your time, and thank you for coming back tonight.
Thanks, George.
Okay, so that closes public participation and Mr. Gatto's report, routine monthly business.
Okay, Mr. President, item A, I would, motion that we approve the minutes of September 15th and October 6th, 2022 board meetings. Item B, approve the list of bills for October and November 2022. And item C, approve the treasurer's report for September and October 2022.
Do I have a second?
Aye.
Mr. Smith? Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries. Item 7, new business.
Mr. President, I motion we approve the Bristol Borough School District Special Education Comprehensive Plan for 3 years as required by the Pennsylvania Department of Education.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Poliafico? Questions?
I just have one question, Dr. Davis, is that on a display, or is that?
It's been on place for 30 days
on
prior
display
to.
Prior to,
Yes.
okay, and any from the public?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, you're welcome.
Okay. Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries. Item 8, personnel.
Mr. President, I motion we approve to hire Ted Moore for the supplemental position of 8th grade girls basketball coach at 35% of the supplemental rate, no benefits, as per the master agreement, effective 2022-2023 school year, pending all clearances.
Do I have a second? Aye. Mr. Smith? Questions? All those in favor? Aye. Nay?
I have a
What-
question.
sorry, go
Is he a
ahead.
teacher?
No.
Any other questions?
No, I'm good.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries. Item B,
Mr. President, I motion that we approve to hire Kim Stiltner as a district assistant PCA at the rate of $14.70 per hour, no benefits as per the negotiated agreement, effective 2022-2023 school year, pending all clearances.
do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Poliafico? Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions?
Aye.
Mr. Stiltner? One abstention, motion carries. Information and discussion.
No, one more, one
Oh.
more at a time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Item C,
Item C, Mr. President, I motion that we approve the appointment of Dr. Schaefer, Dr. Thomas Schaefer, for the purpose of writing the comprehensive plan in conjunction with the Bucks County Intermediate Unit at a rate of $250 per day for 2 days per month until March 2023.
do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Poliafico? Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries. I apologize for that. Okay, information and discussion. Next board meeting will be November 17th, 2022. Tuesday, November 8th, Election Day, Staff Development Day, no school for students. Also, we're going to note in that, Mr. Gatto, that's going to be a big task that day, is that they are thinking, and they're 90% sure that they will be voting in the front of the school here. I know you had the extra outlets put in, so what we will do is a recommendation would be where the parking is, there's areas where they're signed, principal, assistant principal, okay? Those areas will be available to those individuals. Anything where there's not a sign, let's put a cone there so that when our staff comes in, they know we're leaving that open for Election Day. And I believe the judges of election were having a meeting and going to get back to us, but I believe that they are coming in here in this room. Right. But I guess they'll be in contact with you because I don't see the machines here. I believe they have to move them.
They're here.
Yeah, I know they're here, but we don't move them. They have to
Oh,
move
okay.
them. We don't touch them, but Mr. Gatto there's a head judge of election in that West Ward. He'll be communicating with her to make sure that, everything is okay. Because we have signs, we're prepared to direct them to the front of the school.
The signs are made, Mr. Chicoletti, ready to
So hopefully that they stick to their decision, to come here in the front of the school because we did some things for them. But you'll reach out to that individual. Thank you. Okay, so as we approach the ending of the first marking period, a half a day is scheduled for district-wide teachers for the purpose of scoring and putting grades on Thursday, November 10th, 2022. Friday, November 11th, schools are closed for Veterans Day. That's all for information and discussion, so I'll go around the horn here, and we'll see if any of the board members have any comments. Mr. Smith?
Yeah, I'd like to give a quick shout out to the third, fourth, and fifth and sixth grade students for their great job doing the tests, their test scores. Great job, Kelly. And a big shout out to and good luck to the Warriors on the District 1 game tomorrow night. I'm sorry I can't make it, but I'll be rooting you on.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Ms. Curran?
I attended the October Bucks County Technical High School board meeting. I would like to let our parents know that they will be having an open house on November the 10th from 6 to 8 p.m. They'll be accepting applications for the 2023-2024 school year will be available. I'd also like to thank John for finding that better pricing and saving our school district that money. It's just, the teamwork it's really great that everyone works together, and they're looking out for not only our students, but our community. And of course, go Warriors, and I hope we bring a W home.
Light up
Thank
the
you.
scoreboard.
Thank you, Ms. Curran. That was that one of your first meetings or second meeting there at the tech school? So
No, that was one of the first updates I really had,
Okay.
substantial updates, but no.
because now we're back, so that
Yeah,
you
so that
get-
was, I want to say, I think it was August and September we had meetings.
Okay.
But, I mean, they've been doing some great work. I mean, I put more geared to them. They have building updates that they're doing. They have, let's see, they actually have an occupational advisory committee that I thought was very interesting that includes individuals people from the industry, along with the community, that participate in how the grants they receive are used within the school. That way, they're purchasing equipment and purchasing other items that might be needed in different programs. But
Someday, take a tour of the school. It's amazing, yeah.
It is.
Set that up with Dr. Paskey when you have some free time.
Absolutely, yeah. I went into their automotive studies, and it was just amazing to see the cars lifted, all of the mechanics. I mean, it's really very hands-on, more than I even thought.
Do they
So-
still have the pastries at the end of the meeting?
Colin
Yeah,
made
they
me.
do.
He's a buddy of mine, Colin Marsh.
Oh, they're so good.
How do I know about that? Thank you. That's
did
why I
it.
don't
I did it.
go
Oh,
to
yeah.
those meetings. Thank you. Mr. Parola?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Kelly and Nick for doing a good job with the kids and all that. And good luck to the Cub Scouts or Boy Scouts that are going to be here. It is a good organization. So I hope you guys make out and stay here for a long time. Thanks, George, for your report. It was, watching over the high school and all that. So, and good luck to the Warriors.
Okay. Sounds good. Mr. Poliafco?
I'm good.
He's down there. Mr. Steltner?
Good luck to the Warriors. Go Birds. Go Phils. And Kelly, that Barnes & Noble, it was a great experience. But the kids were all excited, especially the scavenger hunt, which I participated in as well. I didn't win anything, but so yeah, thank you. It was great.
Yeah, thank you for
That's
coming.
it.
Dr. Davis?
Yes, just like to report that everything that we do here, there's no I in team, and as you heard tonight, We are working as a team to get things done on behalf of the Board of Education and to our students and our community, and that's a good thing.
Yes, it is, Dr. Davis. Thank you. Mr. Truelove.
Just looking forward to working with Dr. Davis for several more years. And thank you for all the other comments tonight. And it's ball games on, so I'm not going to say anything else.
We're going to see, we're testing the water with Mr. D'Angelo. We're going to see how long this report
Now,
is.
4 bullet points.
Go ahead.
Nick, Ms. Curran, she mentioned at the tech school, November 10th, please get that out. So, you know, if kids want to get in or they want to apply, remind them every day.
So they were, they did a presentation to our 8th grade.
Good.
So their staff came, and then we also had 2 of our seniors who are there now talk to our 8th grade kids, and I think that was a very impactful meeting.
Good. Dr. Davis referred to this. I don't know, Tony and Brianna, if you guys getting this delivered to your house, Jeff,
guys
did you
get
get
that?
this?
Yeah.
But the ones that haven't, I know Jen gets a couple extra copies, but maybe it's really a good thing, you know, it's half full of ads, but it really does got some good information. So if you want to give your name, maybe Jen, you could help them, the new board members, get on that list. We have our Hall of Fame banquet on November 18th. It's going to be at Georgine's. It'll be the night after our next meeting. And look, last but not least, Kelly, those scores are, you know, everything that you've seen and that I've seen across this country is that scores have gone down. Scores have gone down in other districts, right? So for us to have kids in science in 4th grade, 2/3 of our kids are above or, you know, proficient in science and math, that's a good thing, because then you're going to be sending those kids up to Nick. And that's the bar that you got to retain. I don't know that our scores have really ever been that high, or, you know, like they're approaching a good level. So great job, and not just by you, by the kids, by the parents, by the teachers, by everybody. And everything you see going on here is like Dr. Davis says, there's opportunities for any kid in Bristol that wants anything. And let's just hope that we are here to encourage them. And it might be something that you don't like, but try it. It's here for you to try. So that's it, Mr. Ciccoletti. That wasn't bad, was it?
That wasn't bad. You must have your bets in. Okay, so I'll make this brief. Welcome, Cub Scouts, to the school. You know, we're going to hope that our football team wins big tomorrow night, and thank you, everyone, for coming, and thank you for all the support. Dr. Davis, thank you for agreeing to come back. With that, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
Mr. Smith.
Third.